Welcome back, Wildcats. Welcome to your Algebra 1 class. In this video, you will be learning about linear equation, and this video will focus on slope-intercept form of the linear equation. So what are the things you need to know to work with equation of lines? One is the slope formula based on coordinate. The slope is represented by m, and for us to the formula for slope is, again, slope is represented by the letter m in lowercase. And to solve for your slope, we have our formula. M is equal to the rate of change in y, which is y2 minus y1, not the rate of change. Yeah, it's the rate of change. The slope is the rate of change. And the change over the change of x. If you need to refresh your knowledge of the slope, we need to look into the definition of slope. And of course, slope is sometimes called rate of change, right? So there are different ways to write equation of a line. So one of which is what we call now your slope intercept form. Now, slope intercept form is not new to you guys, because it's been, I think this is the most popular equations that you know. Slope intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b, where m, okay, where m is the slope or the rate of change, and your b, okay, is the y-intercept. Y-intercept. Now there are some misconception on the y-intercept. When a question is asking you for a y-intercept, right? So they will be asking you, okay, what is the y-intercept? Your y-intercept is a point, okay? This is a point where x is 0 and the value of y is b. So again, if they will ask you, what is the y-intercept? It's not just only the value of b, okay? The y-intercept, it's a point. Now let's go with some examples in here. The first example that we have here is asking us to what is the graph of y is equal to 4 over 5x plus 2. So we are going to graph this equation, okay, using the information that is given. The equation is in slope-intercept form already. You can use the slope and the y-intercept to graph the line, okay? So step one is you have to identify the y-intercept in the equation. So again, the y-intercept, so identify. Step one is you have to identify. Step one, identify identify the y-intercept. Y-intercept. So base here, the y-intercept is 0, 2. Again, when they ask you what is the y-intercept, the y-intercept it's 2, but you have to write that as a point. So the y-intercept here is at 0, 2. Meaning, when the value of y is 2, when the value of x is 0. Okay, when you plug in 0 here, of course 4 over 5 will be cancelled, so y is equal to 2. That's the meaning of y-intercept there. So 0, 0, 2. Now this is now your y-intercept, which is 0, 2. Okay? Step 2 is we have to do the slope. So it says there, your slope is equal to 4/5. So remember that the numerator of the slope, that is the vertical change, which is the change in y, okay? And then the 5 there, it's your horizontal change, so it's your x. So we start from 0, 2, which is your y-intercept, move 4 units up. So we move 4 units, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's here. That's your vertical change. And then your horizontal change, you have to do 5 units to the right. So 5 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now your second point. So the point there is at, so I have to count 5. Sorry, it's 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the point here is 5, 6. All right. So we can now connect the line. So I'm going to draw a line here. Let's see. Just grab a line here. So from here, connecting this two. So this is now the line that has a slope-intercept form, which is 4/5x. So that's how you graph an equation given in slope-intercept form, right? Now, another example here for example number 2 is that we are going to write an equation from a graph. So how are we going to do that? So we have to follow several steps in here. Okay, so let's start with, of course, the we have to look for the most important thing, which is the slope. Okay, so what is the slope of the line? So remember that in solving for a slope, we'll be using m is equal to the change in y over the change in x. All right. So what are we going to do is what is the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, given that we have 0.01 and then 0.4 negative 2. Okay, so the line passes through 0, 1 and 4 negative 2. So what are we going to do is to get the slope-intercept form. So we have 0, 1 and 0.4 negative 2. So identify your x1, y1, and then we have x2 and then y2. So what are we going to do is you just plug that in. So our m is equal to y2 is negative 2 minus 1. Divide that by, we have x2, which is 4 minus 0. That will give us negative 2 minus 1 will give us negative 3. And then 4 minus 0 is 4. So our slope is at negative 3/4. That's just only step 1. Step 2 is we have to find the y-intercept. Okay? The line intersect at y-axis at 0, 1. So the y-intercept is 1. So on this example, it's a lot easier because your line passes through 0, 1, wherein the value of x is already 0. So the y-intercept there is 0, 1. So y-intercept, okay, I should change the color. So y-intercept, okay, will be the 1 here, is 1. So I can now write my equation. So I'm going to write it in black. You just write there y is equal to, remember our equation is in the form y is equal to mx plus b. That is what we call your slope-intercept form. So what is our m, which is our slope, which is negative 3 over 4. And then you just copy x. And then we have your y-intercept, which is 1. Okay, so this is now the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay. Now let's do example the number 3. What if your line has doesn't passes through any of your vertical line, or the y axis, meaning we have to find for the b, right? So on this example, I'm going to model and demonstrate how are you going to do that, and we have to follow 3 easy steps. Okay, example. How can you find an equation of a line that passes through 2 points if neither of them is the y-intercept? Consider the line that passes through the point -1, -2, and 3, 4. Step 1, of course, we have to find the slope. Identify your x. This is your x1. So I'm going to use red here. This is x1, this is y1, and then we have x2 and then y2. So what I'm going to do is to find the slope using those information that I have. So y2 is 4 minus -2. Okay, and then we have 3 minus -1. So this is 4 minus -2 will give us 4 minus 2, this will be positive 4, this will be 6. Divide this one by 3 minus 1, this will be 3 plus 1 because it's a double negative, it will give us a 4. Now we can still simplify this, okay? To simplify that, it will give you 3 over 2. Now your m is equal to 3 over 2. This is our slope. Remember, this is our slope. All right. Next step, okay, use the slope in 1 point to find the y-intercept. Okay, we all know, I'm going to write this one in blue for step 2. We all know that the slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b, right? Now we have the slope. Okay, let's check. We have a slope, and we need to get, okay, either of these 2 points here. You just need 1 point, okay, because the line passes through this point, so I only need 1 point. So I'm going to get this point. So I have the slope, and then I'm going to use -1, -2 as a point. So, Mr. Can I use 3, 4? Yes, you can use 3, 4. Okay, it's either of the 2 points there. I reiterate that, and I have to make it clear that you can choose any of the point. Okay, for step 2. After solving for the slope, you need to get 1 point from the given. What are you going to do is, of course, this is your x. Okay, -1 is x and -2 is y. So what are you going to do is plug that in on your slope-intercept form. So y is -2, all right, is equal to m, which is 3 over 2. And then the value of x is -1. And then copy plus b. Now it's clear now on the screen that we are looking for the y-intercept. Okay, so b is unknown here. All right, so let's solve this equation. So solving this equation now, with which will give us -2, okay, is equal to 3 over 2 times 1 will give us -3 over 2 plus b. Now I'm going to add, all right, so I'm going to add both side by 3 over 2 plus 3 over 2. Of course, your 3 over 2 here on the right side will be canceled, meaning we did isolate your b. So what will be the value of b? So negative 2 plus 3 over 2 is negative 1 half. So our b is negative 1 half. All right, so that is your second step. I'll repeat the second step. You need to, we have the slope already, and then at least choose 1 point from the given and then plug them in into your slope-intercept formula. Now, for the last step is that, again, we all know that y is equal to mx plus b is your slope-intercept form. So you just go back and plug in the slope and the y-intercept that you get from the computation from step 1 and step 2. So our formula for this, I'm going to use green ink here. So y is equal to the slope, which is 3 over 2. And then I'll copy the x minus, okay, because it's a negative, minus 1 half. Now this is now the slope-intercept form for the point that the line that passes through the point negative 1, negative 2, and 3, 4. All right. So let's proceed with the next example. On our next example, we have a word problem. All right. So Ali received a gift card for her local coffee shop. Every time she goes to the shop, she gets a medium coffee. The graph shows the gift card balance at 2 points. How can Ali determine the number of medium coffees she can buy with the gift card if she does not know the original value of the card? So we'll be applying slope-intercept form here. So we have to identify. So maybe we can just do step 1 is we are going to interpret the meaning of the 2 points. Okay. Step 1, interpret the meaning of the 2 points. This point here, I'll just write it here. This one is after buying two coffee. So after buying 2 coffee, Ali had 1970 left on the gift card. Okay, so after buying 2 coffee, sorry, after buying 2 coffees, okay, and then 19.70 left in the card. Now on this one, the same way, after buying 4 coffees, he has $14.40 left on the gift card. All right, so that is how we interpret the problem. All right, so what are we going to do for step 2 is we have to find the slope using these 2 points. Okay, so we all know that m is equal to the change of y minus the over the change of x. So we just plug in. So your m is now equal to y2 is 19.70, okay, minus 14.40. Divide this one by 2 minus 4. So our m is equivalent to negative 2.65. So this is our m. M is equal to negative 2.65. Now we have for step 3, we have to use 1 point and the slope to find the y-intercept. All right. So we have step 2 is we have y is equal to, maybe I'll just write this one in the other ink. So y is equal to mx plus b. And we'll be using the first point. So I'm going to use 19.70 for my y is equal to negative 2.65 times my x is at 2 plus the b. Okay, so in here I made use of the first point, which is 19.70. All right, so we can solve that. Okay, so we have 19.70 is equal now to negative 5.3 plus b, and I'm going to add 5.3 here plus 5.3. So this will be canceled, so b is equal to 25. So this is your y-intercept. All right, so um we have the y-intercept is 25. This 25 represent the original value of the card already, because the value of x, okay, the value of x in your y-intercept will be 0. It's always 0. So meaning on this equation, okay, so if I'm going to write that, the equation is y is equal to negative 2.65x plus 25. Okay, this is the original equation. Now it says there that what if you didn't still buy a a coffee yet? So the gift card has $25. Okay, so to determine the number of medium coffees she can buy with the gift card, Ali can divide $25 by 2.65. Okay, Mr. White, where did you get your 2.65? It's the rate of change, okay, which is your slope. Okay, so she can purchase 9 medium coffee with the gift card. Okay, so based on the equation that we have, Ali can buy 9 medium coffee, medium coffees. Okay, so Mr. How did you get that? It's 25 divided by $2.65. So for each medium coffee, that's worth 2.65. All right, so thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.